Let me now bring on board Mr. R.P. Singh, Chairman of NHI, who joins us from Delhi. Mr. Singh, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Singh, last year was a tough year for infra and the whole road sector, in particular as the project or the new project allocation saw a sharp dip. But encouragingly, NHI did manage to complete 4,250 kilometers of road length during FY13. So what, to your mind, are the key problem areas for FY14?
Yeah, you know, the last few years, the preferred mode of delivery has been the BOT toll mode. And the awards in BOT toll will depend upon the market sentiment. The basic problem which the concessionaires are facing today is basically the lack of equity in the market. In fact, the number of projects which have been awarded in the last 2 years, most of them could not start. The ostensible reason which they gave was the environment clearance, but even after the environment clearance issue was resolved, many of them are not able to get a financial closure because in general there is lack of equity in the market, and especially the projects which have been bid on premium, they have to raise money not only for the equity but also for paying the premium to the NHI. So basically it's a problem of the lack of equity on the part of the concessionaires, which is responsible for not starting the projects which have been already awarded, as well as the lack of bids for the projects which we have bid last year. Even projects which were annuity projects, I mean, most of the projects were BOT toll, but there were few annuity projects also last year. Even their bids have not come. Annuity projects are like a deferred cash contract. So basically the traffic risk is to be borne by the NHI only. But even there, because the equity is not there, so it's difficult for the concessionaires to come out with the bids and all that. I think unless we solve this basic issue or we wait for the economy to have an upturn again, it will be difficult to get bids in the BOT projects.
Mr. Singh, morning. So what are the key proposals you are currently working on to address these issues?
See, basically, if you recollect, for the last about 6 months, ever since I came, I have identified this as the basic reason. So if we allow the transfer of equity immediately after COD, moment the concessionaire reaches the commercial operations and the road work is completed, if we allow the transfer of equity, there are a number of private equity players who are willing to step in. So that way the equity will get churned. These contractor turned concessionaires who have got limited access to equity, if they are able to sell the completed projects and the party which is coming to take over the equity, the PE funds who are interested in buying those projects, if they are prepared to take the obligation of the concessionaire for the remaining period of concession, I think we will be in a position to churn the equity available in the market, and then these concessionaires who are originally contractors, they will be in a position to take up new projects. The private equity funds are not willing to take the construction risk in India. The kind of problems which we are facing in the field, utility shifting, land acquisition problems, things like that, dealing with local problems and all, the private equity funds are not comfortable dealing with these issues. So construction risks, only the old contractor turned concessionaires only can afford to take it.
Mr. Singh, what about the road length? What do you expect NHI, or what do you expect at NHI to be completed in terms of construction in FY14?
Yeah, I'll tell you that. We have completed last year of the order of 2,844. And I think Ministry has done about 95. So put together against a target of 3,000 kilometers, we've almost reached that. This year, NHI alone, we have taken a target of 2,500 kilometers. And this is quite a tall order because the work in progress, keeping in view the last 2 years awards, which are yet to see the light of day, the work in progress is only of the order of 4,000 kilometers. So in spite of that, we have taken a tall target. We have taken a target of 2,500 kilometers. We hope to complete it, because we are putting a lot of pressure on the field machinery for land acquisition, things like that. And we hope that all the problems with railways like GAD, etc. will sort out, and change of land, change of scope, other variations, everything. If we take care of those aspects, so internal improvements, whatever assistance we can give to the concessionaire, keeping all that in view, we hope to complete 2,500 kilometers this year. And in case we are able to start the projects which have been awarded in the last 2 years, maybe we get some extra length also.
Saying lack of equity and funding has turned out to be a key issue with concessionaires. In such a scenario, the ability to exit projects becomes quite important. What's the progress on the various exit options?
Yeah, I think that is something which we have been seeking for the last about 6 months. And we've been able to convince everybody, including the Finance Minister. The final cabinet note is prepared on the whole issue, and I think we expect the orders maybe in a month or so. If that happens, the contractors who became concessionaires, who are not capable of implementing more than 1 or 2 projects, and if their equity gets freed, I think they will come up with fresh bids.
Mr. Singh, the Reserve Bank of India recently announced that subject to certain conditions, loan to PPP projects in the infrastructure sector will be treated as secured loans. Do you expect this to be as significant in reducing stress on leverage balance sheets for infra companies?
Yeah, because there is a cap on the total unsecured lending which a bank can do. So now that cap will not be operative in this for this sector. The provisioning requirements will come down, so the cost of funding for the project should come down. The comfort of the bankers will be much more if the loans are secured loans. So there's no doubt it's a very big step which RBI has taken, and we have been seeking it for quite some time. And after a lot of difficulty, we could convince them that they should declare these projects, these loans as secured loans.
The NHAI, Mr. Singh, has been embroiled in litigation with both GMR as well as GVK, and reports suggest that premium payment for their projects may be restructured to be back-ended as well. While on NPV basis, the inflow to NHAI would be same, the cash flow timeline would change. Is NHAI comfortable with that?
See, there's no choice, if you ask me, with the government or with the NHAI. If you cancel those projects and rebid these projects, I don't think we will get premium in the today's circumstances anywhere near what has been committed by these concessionaires. So it's a win-win situation for both sides. In case we don't restructure these projects, we end up with unnecessary litigation. Number one, claims, counterclaims. Then number two, we rebid these projects. We may have to recast these projects, because today to get bids for the projects of this size, they are mega projects. If you see the kind of equity which is required for these projects, GMR project would require something like 2,000 crore equity. The GVK project would require something like 1,400 crore equity. Now, if this kind of equity, along with premium, if you expect them to raise today in today's market, it's going to be difficult. So the right thing, I think, is the basic principle which we have followed in making our proposal to the government is that the NPV of the premium which we are supposed to receive during the concession period should remain undisturbed. If the project earns faster, we should have the first right to make to get the premium payments in a faster way. We have even put a condition subsequent to our board resolution. We have made them agree to this condition that they will not receive dividend in the first 12 years. So I think if they are committing to these kind of conditions, and in fact the peak shortfall which occurs in a particular year of the originally committed premium amounts and the restructured premium amounts, the peak shortfall comes to is of the order of around 4,800 crores. We have made them even to agree to give a corporate guarantee for this amount. So with these kind of conditions, I think we have taken care of the government interest and the NHAI interest, and my feeling is that the government should accept this thing.
Right, Mr. Singh, really appreciate your time and thank you for joining us.